What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010, work through the ranks and through the teams, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We're here starting our brand new season on F1 2011. If you missed F1 2010 season 1, then you can go catch up with the card annotation in the top right corner of your screens. There'll also be a description down below to the playlist. You can go check that out too and catch up on everything that you have missed of this series so far. But we had a fantastic season in F1 2010. We got to drive for a good team. We're not driving for Virgin Racing in the F1 2011 season. Let's find out who we'll be driving for in F1 2011. Here we are then, driving for Williams in the F1 2011 season. Pretty much copying what happened in the first round of the Rags to Riches series. This time we are doing the sequel, and it seems to be, history seems to be repeating itself. We're driving for Williams once again. Wasn't expecting that, because I set the target slightly, well, I say slightly higher, a lot higher than it was in the F1 2010s. In the first go of Rags to Riches, I set the goal a lot higher to get between 4th and 6th to drive for Williams. Yet, here we are, after 3 race wins last season, 5 podiums I believe it was, and lots of points scoring finishes. And we're driving for Williams. What a season that was. We're going to choose our helmet in a little bit. Not too sure anything else to look around. Nope, let's have a look at the laptop then and see what our emails have to say. So we've got our first one, race information for Melbourne. The team wants us to qualify 15th. Qualifying is a bit of a sore point for us. We tend to do, it's very much a mix. We can either do really well or really bad. So we'll have to wait and see for that one. And then the race finish no lower than 12th. Hopefully we can achieve that. And if we have a look at the weather, it's going to be light cloud, clear, and light cloud, which is always good. We don't want to start our first race in the rain. I swear on F1 2011, it's a lot different to F1 2010. And, yeah, whereas in F1 2010, we were good in the wet. I don't think that's going to be the case on this game. Press coverage for the new season. Don't think we have to worry about that at all. Race weekend introduction, no. Welcome to Williams. Thank you very much, Frank Williams. And welcome to Formula One. And nothing really to look at through that either. So, nothing else there. Standings, we are at the bottom at the moment in 22nd place, but we haven't even started our season, so we'll be looking to try and get things underway in Melbourne and try and get a good result in there. Track info, don't really have to worry about that. So let's select my helmet and let's get into the first race of the season. I'm kind of liking this helmet, helmet 21 at the moment. It's very similar to the one I've got in my career mode on F1 2016, and that's what I'm going for. So it's either a choice between 21 or 13, because all the other ones are completely different to the helmet that I've got. Maybe it's slightly different. Let's go for helmet 21. Let's go for that one, and that is going to be my helmet for now. If you want to change it, let me know down in the comments down below, and whichever one gets voted like the top comment, then I may change it for special races, but we'll just have to wait and see for that one. So, without any further ado, let's get into the first race of the F1 2011 season. It's season 2. It's the Australian Grand Prix. Here we go then, round the final couple of corners. Oh, I'm a bit struggling. Oh, no. That's a bad start to the lap. But here we go for one shot qualifying here at the Australian Grand Prix. User curves all the way down to the line. And let's get this lap underway. Let's try not to mess up into turn 1. I'm struggling a bit with the braking because obviously I've come off F1 2010 where the braking is quite difficult on that game. And now I've got DRS and stuff like that. And the steering is a lot more sensitive, but it just looks better. F1 2011, the visuals and stuff like that, the colours, it just looks so much better compared to F1 2010. Here we go then, last couple of corners of the one-shot qualifier. Well, it's one shot at the moment, but if this lap is terrible, I may go for one more because I messed up on the final corner. Although that final corner wasn't exactly too much better. But here we go, down towards the line now. What is the time going to be? It's going to be last. It's 18th place. That's terrible. That's terrible, but it's not last. It's not miles off the bottom. So that is going to be my qualifying session for today. I do feel like maybe I could do a little bit better, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in today's race. In all fairness, I've only lost out to Rubens Barrichello by 2... Okay, I was going to say by 2 positions, but I'm a whole 2 seconds faster. How? What the hell? How is there 2 seconds separating Adrian Sutil and the rain? There's 3 seconds separating those 2 guys. Jeez McGee's. I am so lucky that I'm in a Williams for this season and not a Lotus, because otherwise I would be ruined for this season. There'd be no chance. This Rags to Riches career would be so much more difficult. But Mark Webber gets pole position for today with Jenson Button in second, Sebastian Vettel third, Fernando Alonso fourth, and Felipe Massa in fifth, with Lewis Hamilton, not the best qualifying sessions, down in 7th place. What can we do though from 18th on the grid? We'll be hoping to get our bearings with the track very, very quickly and try and challenge with a few guys and maybe get some points in our first race. That would be nice to see. But without any further ado, let's head down to the track for today's race. It's race day. It is the Australian Grand Prix and I'm already starting to dislike the helmet that I've selected, so I might have to change that after today's race. But the goal for today is to try and get 12th place or above. We're going to be starting on the prime tyres because that's the strategy the team wants to go for. I'm not too sure in this game whether the prime tyres at the start works or the option tyres. I think, if I remember correctly, starting on the option tyres is better. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to start on the options for my first race, then go for the primes. But we'll wait and see. We may try at a different race. Maybe at the next one, try what it's like being on the primes first, then the options. If we qualify outside the top 10, and we'll see what we can do. But we're going to be pitting for the primes on lap 5. So that's pretty fine with me. Nothing really else to talk about. No rain out on track. So without any further ado, let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. Mark Webber then lining up in pole position for the first race of the season. That's home Grand Prix. In fact, my teammate Rubens Barrichello ahead of me in 16th place. I am directly behind him on track, 18th place, but I was a whole 2 seconds down in the qualifying session, which was slightly disappointing. We've got lights on the screen. Oh my god, that's amazing. Right, here we go for the race. It's 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. Straight away putting up into rich mix. We do need to actually watch the fuel on this game as we go down in towards turn 1. Take it nice and easy. Try not to crash into anyone. Try and find our gap, and there we go. There we go. Right, Alguersuari, what are you going to do? You're going to get out of my way? I'm going to barge a Force India out of the way there as I get through and go up the inside, please. I want an inside line. Kobayashi, thank you very much. Just dive up the inside, and I'm already up into P9. Wow. What a start that was. Already up into P9. I've run it wide. Okay, I'm going to lose a couple of positions because of that. Thank you, Nick Heidfeld. That's fine with me. Oh, I'm struggling with turning. Come on. Come on, car. We can do this. We're in P10. We're still on the points. Pretty decent. Gaining on Nick Heidfeld now all the way down in towards this corner. Up the inside, possibly. On the Lotus. Can't quite find anything up there, unfortunately. I had a little look, but unfortunately just couldn't find any extra pace. And I've got Kobayashi all over the back of me right now. Can we get Nick Heidfeld, though? Oh, not if I break on the grass. That's a terrible mistake. That's a huge mistake there. And that just allows Kobayashi to swoop past us down in towards the chicane. But Jeff telling me to win that place back. I'm going to try, Jeff. I can't dive it up the inside, though. Brakes are just so strong on this game. You go into a corner, you think, you know, you've broken too late, and all of a sudden, you're fine. You can brake so late into this game, and I'm just not used to that from F1 2010. Or F1 2016, to be fact. I think I may have the wrong setup on as well. I'm using an old setup. So, yeah, I'm not even too sure. I didn't even set this up in the practice sessions. I just saw Pix one and just went with it. Oh, come on, Hayden. Just get some turning in. Oh, come on. Get off the grass. I'm not out of this race yet. I'm not out of it. Look how close I am to Kobayashi, no, not Heikki Kovalainen, sorry, Nick Heidfeld, and whoever it is ahead of him. As Heidfeld runs wide, someone's gone into the gravel down there. Oh, my God. I've lost a huge chunk of my front wing. Wow, not too sure what has happened there. Let's have a look at a replay. But someone goes off down towards the gravel. Who was it? I think it was Fernando Alonso. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, Fernando Alonso. Has he had engine failure? Were those a thing? I think they were. Yeah, I think Fernando Alonso has had an engine failure. So, yeah, that is an actual thing in this game. Okay, we get the job done, though, on Kobayashi, even though we broke most of our front wing because of it. And now we're going side by side right behind Nick Heidfeld. Will that bring out a safety car? Probably not, because it took me 4 seasons for a safety car to come out on F1 on this last time we did the Rags to Riches. But back up into P9, which is good news for us. We're back in the points. Come on, come on. I'm right behind Nick Heidfeld. What can we do on the Lotus driver? Can we get him? Hopefully. Oh, I've run it onto the grass again, though, but we've just about made the corner. Oh, we haven't made it that time, though. Purple through Sector 2. That's what I like to see. Heidfeld into the pits. Nick Heidfeld into the pits here on lap 3. So that means he's surely going for a 2-stopper in this race. If he's pitting that early, that's 2 laps earlier than we're supposed to come into the pits. But he's given us DRS, so we're not really going to complain too much. Oh, Rosberg's run it very, very wide there. Very, very wide. Thank you very much, Nico, making the mistake. I will definitely take advantage of that big time. Wow, up into P7 in my first race at the Australian Grand Prix. here in my first season on F1, first race in F1 2011. Here we go, up into P3 now. There's lots of drivers coming into the pits. We're coming to pits on this lap. They're probably going to fix my front wing, unfortunately, which is slightly disappointing because I completely destroyed turn 1 there. That's what I mean about braking early. You brake early and then you just get so much oversteer. It's unreal. As we've got Nico Rosberg, though, right on my tail. Here we go, then, into the pits on this lap. We've got oh, come on with the corner cut and just stop that, Hayden. Just make these corners work. Close to the pit entry there, but luckily not hitting anything. But into the pits we go. Getting it stopped before the line and down in towards our pit box. What sort of stop is it going to be from the Williams team? We need a quick one. We'd like a quick one. They are unfortunately changing my front wing, which is slightly annoying because it wasn't really too much my fault. But Rosberg is going to get past us, and away we go now. So here we go. Down through the pit exit, we've got a Toro Rosso, a Sauber, and a Force India right on our tail. But hopefully, if we can have a good exit. Oh no, this is where it slingshots you down towards turn 1, doesn't it? I need to beware to brake. Okay, taking the inside line. We've cut across it. Petrov has come out ahead of us. I believe we probably lost out to... Or was he? He might have been ahead of us before we came into pits. I'm not actually entirely sure with that one. We're going to maybe try around the outside. Oh no, Petrov goes around the outside of a Virgin Racing. And unfortunately, we're just not able to get the job done on Vitali there. But wow, hello, Sebastian Buemi with a switchback. That was nice. I have lots of respect for you, Sebastian. That was a great move, mate. That was amazing. I'm really struggling on these prime tyres because I've just got to feel like I've got too much grip, if you know what I mean. I'm just turning in too early for corners. It's frustrating. But now I'm going to brake so much later on all these guys. They're getting held up by the Virgin of D'Ambrosio. That's going to help me out quite a lot. I'm going to try and get Vitaly Petrov very, very soon now. Unless he goes for the move on D'Ambrosio. They're going to go side by side. We might try and make it free. Why? Don't go to the back of him because I don't want to lose my front wing again. Come on, come on, come on. Let's do this. Come on, Vitaly. Where are you going to go? Let's just follow in the slipstream. Tuck it in. And then up the inside. There we go. And D'Ambrosio as well. Come on, come on. Oh, squeezing me, squeezing me. Up the inside. And job done. Job done on Jerome D'Ambrosio. Up into P10 once again. Behind Nico Rosberg, unfortunately. So that mistake that he's made hasn't really meant too much. But D'Ambrosio into the pits. We're going to have Vitaly Petrov right on my tail. And now, who else is in the pits? Rubens Barrichello. Rubens Barrichello into the pit lane. He's going to come out just behind me. So are the other guys that come into the pits. They're going to come out just ahead of me. Oh, my God. I messed up turn 1 there. Going to come out behind Paul Di Resta. And I believe the Lotus of Nick Heidfeld's probably got out ahead of me. But I'm not too sure whether Nick Heidfeld's got to pit again. I think it might be Alguersuari, actually, that's come out ahead of me. How have those guys done that? That's a great strategy, though. They've managed to get out ahead of me. Yeah, we are definitely catching up to Paul Di Resta now. So what can we do? Oh, braking very late into that corner. Gaining loads on my compatriot. As we're using Kurz, following in slipstream. Come on. Come on, Di Resta. Here we go. Left-hand side. Up the inside into the chicane. Oh, it's still side by side with Di Resta. But he lifts off in the end. And there we go. Job done. Up into P8 once again. Now hunting down P7. Can we get that position back? Definitely gaining on Jaime Alguersuari at the moment. There we go, setting purple in Sector 1. Wow, purple in Sector 1 here at the Australian Grand Prix. Right-hand side on Alguersuari, so much faster. Out of that corner, down in towards the chicane. And there we go, job done on the Toro Rosso. Up into P7 once again. And now trying to catch up to Nico Rosberg. Can we get P6 in today's race? Are we going to set the fastest lap then here at the Australian Grand Prix? Down towards the line at the moment. We've been purple. Sector 1, Sector 2. Yes, we have. 124.585. Fastest lap at the moment. Wow, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. We're in a Williams. First race in F1 2011. And we have gone fastest. I love how that lap as well was 4 seconds faster than our pole time. Than our time in qualifying. Somebody's just come out of the pit lane. Oh, Vettel's going very, very slowly. Vettel has a problem in this Australian Grand Prix. First round of the season. The 2010 World Champion has a problem in the first race of the season. That's going to promote me up into P6. And now I'm hunting down. Can I get another 5th place at the Australian Grand Prix? We've got 2 laps left to go. We're closing in on Nico Rosberg. We got a 5th place last season in F1 2010. Can we do it again? This would be incredible stuff if we can. We're also closing up to 3 other drivers. Not too sure whether they're back markers or not, but we are closing up to those 3 drivers, whoever they are. So if they are 3 front runners, we could possibly get a top 4 or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see. But first, we have to get past Nico Rosberg, but we're making some good work of that at the moment. Right, we've got DRS here on this start-finish straight on Nico Rosberg down towards the line. Can we get Nico Rosberg with 2 laps left to go? We're gaining so much down into the braking zone. I'm going to take this nice and easy, though. Do not want to go into the back of Rosberg or ruin my race completely. We're not going to get DRS down this straight, so we're just going to have to rely on slipstream alone. We are in rich revs, but we're not able. Well, here we go, though, round the outside in towards turn 3. Holding it side by side with Nico Rosberg. A little bit of a tie bang between myself and him. He gets the outside line. We get the inside line. Have we got the job done? Yes, we have. There we go. Up into P5 in this Australian Grand Prix. And I can see a few people just ahead of me as I've cut the corner once again. Really struggling. Just breaking a bit too early into a few corners. But 4 seconds. Don't think I'm going to be able to close that up in 2 laps. But we'll see what we can do. I can see 4 drivers on the minimap just ahead of me right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can I close in and get the race win on my final lap in my first race of this season? That would be some seriously incredible stuff if I can do that. Here we go. We're on optimal fuel at the moment. That should be okay to last us in rich mix till the end of the race. As I run it a little bit too wide in towards turn 1. No, the gap's still 4 seconds. So this must be back markers, unfortunately. I feel like this is probably going to be back markers. 2 seconds to Lewis Hamilton, so someone's dropped off. Believe he's one of these guys in the next pack. Not this pack, but in the... Yes, I can see him. Yeah. It's Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa, which is 3rd place. Oh my god, can we get 3rd place in this Australian Grand Prix? We need to make some serious ground in the final couple of corners, but there is still a huge chance. Here we go, into the chicane. I haven't really nailed that corner. Not to my best abilities, but we are still gaining on Lewis Hamilton. A mistake from either of these 2 drivers will promote me up another position. Come on. Come on. A couple of corners left to go. Come on. I don't think it's going to happen. No, I've run it wide. Come on. No, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. But still, P5 as Mark Webber wins his home race in Australia. That's going to set him up nicely for this season. But we're going to come down towards the line for a fantastic 5th place in my first race in F1 2011 for my new team in Williams. That's my 4th. That's not my 4th race win. I was going to say my 4th race win, but that's another 5th place. That's 2 5th places in Australia in a row.
Great result. A solid points finish.
This year, Jeff doesn't seem as excited as he was when we drove for Virgin, but still, 5th place, 10 points on board, and that is a great start for me in the championship. I've actually forgot to mention what we have to do to get which seats next season. I'll go through that after I've gone through the results from today's race. We'll get into that in a sec. But Mark Webber is today's race winner with Jenson Button 2nd, Felipe Massa 3rd, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, and myself in 5th with Nico Rosberg 6th, Jaime Alguersuari 7th, Paul di Resta in 8th, then it's Sebastian Buemi 9th, and Vitaly Petrov gets the final point in 10th. My teammate Rubens Barrichello down in 13th place, not having the best of races, but we have proved there today that we have the pace. We struggled in the qualifying session. I guess that's just because, you know, we just jumped into the car, one-shot qualifying, and it didn't really work out for us. But setting the fastest lap on the race off with a 1:24.5 proves that we have got what it takes to challenge with the big boys up front. Hopefully, we can carry that across the rest of the season. But let's have a look at the driver's standings. And that's exactly the same as where everybody else finished in the race. We are in P5 in that one. And let's have a look at the constructors up into P4 for Williams with 10 points on board of them at the moment. Mercedes and Toro Rosso on 8. I believe that Rubens Barrichello will probably get some points scoring positions this season. So hopefully he can live up to that and we can get some good points for Williams this year. Maybe try and get top 4. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But that's it for today's Australian Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. So we've got some interviews here today after today's Australian Grand Prix. And do you have any objectives for this season? I'll be taking the season race by race. We'll be looking to beat the other teams around us. I'll just be trying to be competitive. I'll be taking the season race by race, to be honest. I just want to see what happens. We'll wait until maybe about the halfway stage or about Singapore, Japan, that sort of stage of the season to decide which sort of team we're going to be trying to battle for. But at the moment, just taking it race by race and just sort of seeing where we could actually finish in this year's standings. Are you happy with how the weekend has gone? Yeah, struggled in qualifying a little bit, but I think that's just because we were jumping on a new game, no practice at all, and just going straight out and doing our best lap, which wasn't exactly the best of ideas. But then in the race, we really picked it up. We struggled at the beginning, but we found some pace towards the end on those prime tyres. And yeah, 5th place, absolutely fantastic. So it was difficult, but we did it. A great race then there at the Australian Grand Prix. That's 2 5th places in a row at that circuit. It seems like it is a strong circuit for us. And I need to go through now what we have to do to get a good drive for F1 2012. So this is how it works out. Once again, first to third means a Force India seat. Fourth to sixth will be a Williams seat for next season. Toro Rosso, yep, that's next. Toro Rosso will be between 7th and 9th. Then Caterham will be between 10th and 12th. Marussia will be between 13th and 16th. And HRT will be between 17th and 24th. So if we have a look at the race standings after the first round, we're up into P5. And that means we will currently be racing for Williams again next season, which is, you know, good in F1 2012. They're not a bad team. Pastor Maldonado actually won a race for them in that season, so they're not a bad team in F1 2012. But Force India, of course, is the goal, and they are the top team that we will be hoping to achieve in that season. So that's the standings for after today's race. I am going to change my helmet ahead of the next race in Malaysia, because I didn't really like it. I don't really like the way that looked, so I'm not too sure which one we're going to go for at the moment. Something that suits car. So I think I'm going to go for 13, actually. We're going to go for helmet number 13. That's what we're going to be using in the next race. We'll see how that looks, and we'll decide whether we want to change that as the season goes on. But that is it for today's race. If you have enjoyed the first episode of the new season of Rags to Riches here on F1 2011, don't forget to smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula One content, share this video with your friends, and I will see you next time for round 2, the Malaysian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.